Hi everyone, my name is Catherine James. I'm a writer at ClassicGameroom.com, and this is my review of Kingdom Hearts 2 by Square Enix for the PlayStation 2. The Kingdom Hearts franchise is an action RPG in the style of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, where you get to hack your way through Disney-inspired worlds as Sora, who is joined by Donald Duck and Goofy on a quest to find King Mickey and Sora's friends. Kingdom Hearts 2 begins in Twilight Town, where you play a new character, Roxas, who mysteriously dreams of the events surrounding Sora in the earlier installments. This intro period forces you to complete some pretty tedious minigames, interspersed with episodes from Kingdom Hearts 1. If you've played the first game, this can serve as a convenient refresher, but if not, it may be too discontinuous to make much sense. After a few hours of playing as Roxas, Sora awakens with Donald and Goofy, and you continue on your never-ending quest to find your friends. Home base this time around is Hollow Bastion, which is under new management by Squall and the other borrowed Final Fantasy cast. From there, you resume explorations of various Disney-centric worlds, both old and new. The ones you visited in Kingdom Hearts 1 now have new areas, like Christmas Town and the Nightmare Before Christmas world. Some of the new destinations, like those inspired by Tron and Steamboat Willie, are excellent additions to the map. Not all are exciting, though. Atlantica has been reduced to some extremely childish minigames, making you yearn for the days when a giant Ursula beat the dickens out of you. Speaking of boss fights, few in Kingdom Hearts 2 are truly challenging. Even with 3 difficulty levels available, it isn't hard to keep yourself at a high enough level to avoid an early grave. Though there is a better variety of general enemies in 2, few boss fights are as memorable as the ones in Kingdom Hearts 1. This may not sound too terrible, but let me point out that an exceptionally large portion of this game is grinding. The story is very unbalanced. For about the first third of the game, you get a bit of story every now and then to keep you moving, but then you must cross a vast narrative desert before being drowned in a monsoon of plot points near the end. A more evenly spaced story would have made the game much more enjoyable overall. The battle system in Kingdom Hearts 2 is much the same as 1, a fantastic hack-and-slash fiesta, complete with fancy-looking combos and complicated aerials. The basic array of magic is available, as well as some magnificently useless summons. The real weapons in your arsenal of abilities are limits and drive forms. Limits allow you to partner with either Goofy, Donald, or a summon to deal high amounts of damage to foes, but drive forms are really the kicker. By absorbing one or both of your companions, you gain the ability to use 2 Keyblades and smack the daylights out of anyone who is stupid enough to get in your way. And the time limit allowed, you can do serious damage to hordes of surrounding enemies or a boss. Similar to Kingdom Hearts 1, you can gather materials dropped by monsters for synthesis into items and equipment by Moogles, whose stations conveniently dot each world. Like the Gummy Ship system, the synthesis menu is more complicated this time around, but the tweaks and additions make this add-on a much more valuable use of your time. Square Enix made a number of minor changes between 1 and 2, some of which were a huge improvement. The command menu's design now changes depending on which world you're in, a little cosmetic detail that goes a long way in developing your environment. While fighting certain enemies and bosses, a prompt telling you to press the triangle button will appear. Doing so will execute a strategic move that quickly dispatches some otherwise nasty foes. The camera feels more fluid this time around, and you don't get stuck at awkward angles as often as before. And maybe it's because Sora and his friends have grown from squeaky-voiced kids to hormonal teenagers, the cast wardrobe is considerably trendier, kind of a cross between Tokyo youth chic and, in Sora's case, Hot Topic. His outfit also changes to suit different worlds and during his drive forms. Overall, Kingdom Hearts 2 doesn't quite live up to its predecessor's success. This game may feature greater depth and detail with more intriguing gameplay, but the uneven story layout and laughably easy enemies leave you toiling through an extensive and unchallenging grind just to get to the end. If you played the first game, it's worth going through the pains of this one to find out who the mysterious robed man is, what Mickey is doing outside his kingdom, and if Sora will ever find his way home. Just set the game to proud mode and plow through the midway grind. And that's Kingdom Hearts 2.
I don't understand. Why are you here?
We came to give you the password.
Why didn't you just transmit the data?
Transmit?